Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interactions. We have the 2020 feature, sports with Brian Camp, and entertainment news with DJ Pete. So settle in with coffee in hand, and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Hi, happy Friday to each and every one of you. Welcome aboard once again. Here we are for another Friday. And of course, we're coming to you live from New York City. My name is Frank Allan, and thank you for being aboard with us. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're going to be with you for the next hour. We have a lot of entertainment and news for you coming on right up, and it's all coming your way. We want to thank you so much for being along with us. Of course, the name of the program, as I said, The Coffee Hour. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, I want you to be aware of something, that we come here each week at this time, every week at this time. And what we like to do is gather all of you together and get you involved in the show. And how we do that? Well, as the host, of course, I am going to bring out the topics, of course, and make sure that all of us get involved in that. Also, you can bring out your own topic. The only thing that you have to do is type on the phone right there and on your keyboard, and we'll see you, and I will entertain your thoughts and ideas, and we can get in conversation all together. But tell your friends and family, and for those of you who are watching us on Facebook right now, tag all of your friends, because you're coming to three sources right now. Live on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Instagram too as well, and all you have to do is contact your friends by taking the show and tagging it to them. You can do that right now as we speak, so they can get involved at the early part of the show. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, we invite you to come to our YouTube channel and go there and subscribe to us, because when you do that, that will give you the opportunity to know when we're on the air, or when we post a photo or video or something to that sort. And you'll see that, and once you see that notification, all you have to do is just point onto that notification, and it takes you right there. And so that's the way it is. And remember that all of the view and the opinions expressed on the show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any kind of, or any other social media and broadcast outlet. Now, we're having a problem with Zoom today. That's why we're not on Zoom. We're not broadcasting from Zoom. So therefore, when we have sports, which is coming up in just a couple of minutes from now with Brian Camp, he is going to come to us by telephone today. So you'll get a chance to talk, we'll get a chance to talk to him by telephone. We're doing the sports. DJ Pete will be here as well, all by telephone, and he's going to bring us information of the people of notoriety in the entertainment area, and reciting all of those birthdays who will be celebrating this week or have been celebrating. And so with all of that, we thank you for being along with us. So what we want to do, we want to raise our cups, because after all, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. That's great. That's marvelous. Well, we're all here, and you're there, and we hope that you come in and join us and get involved. And I see DJ Pete is out there. He just popped in. Yeah, we're on the telephone today, DJ Pete, and I'm glad you picked up on that. Having a problem with Zoom. I don't know what Zoom. You know, the problem with Zoom, I'll tell you what the problem is. Every once in a while, Zoom decides that they want to upgrade or update, and that takes a lot of time for them to do that. And they do that just before we're going on the air. So we're going to have to deal with that a little later. But in the meantime, we are still on the air, and we're going to be talking to all of you. We've got so much to talk about today. If you're going to join us in conversation, please do. Join us in conversation. A lot of people don't like to do it, but for those of you who are going to join us in conversation, give us your weather forecast, all right? We would love to have that for you, the weather forecast, and we like to know what's happening in your area as far as that concerned. But for those of you who are watching us from New York City and somewhere in that vicinity. Don't worry about it. I will take care of all of that. And there's a lot of things coming up. And of course, we'll have those movies that you like, all of those Turner Classic movies coming along. And of course, we'll have all of that for you coming up. But right now, let's go to sports. We're going on by way of telephone this morning. And Brian Camp is here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Here we are, Brian. I say this is the first time we don't see each other.
I think I've seen enough of you over the years to let this go. Yes, happy Friday to you all and to everybody out there that's tuning in. It is a happy Friday, at least over here in the Queen City of Charlotte.
Brian, let me cut you off for a second. We're having a problem with our telephones right now. But keep talking because I'm going to shift away and grab the extension phone, and then that'll put us back on. But keep talking anyway.
Okay. Well, with all this rain that was going on here, it is Happy Friday because it was raining for at least anywhere between 24 straight hours here in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But the sun is out, so it's a Happy Friday, ready to smile into the weekend.
Yeah.
And so we're all grateful. We're even grateful for the rain. So let's. I don't want to get it twisted. We're grateful for the rain. You got to have the rain. It cleanses the air. So
yeah.
Well, good morning to you all, to everybody who's tuning in wherever you are around the globe. I greet you with a hello. Then get to sports. Tom Brady officially announced his retirement, and this time is going to stick. He says. Well, a year ago, around this time, he said he announced his retirement, and 30 to 45 days later, he said, this is not working out, I'm coming back. So, but I think this is it after the season that he had with his team. His team didn't even finish 500, made the playoffs with a bad division, so he's calling it quits. He has a job waiting for him as a analysis on Fox. I believe it's Fox that he'll be working with, and he's going to be making millions and millions of dollars again. So, congratulations to him and to his new adventure, his new journey in life. So, speaking of football, yes, Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl 57, February 12th is arriving. Is coming within 9 days. So everybody get ready. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. That game is going to be on Fox at 6:30. Rihanna, the singer, the entertainer, will be performing at halftime. So expect Super Bowl parties around everywhere, in the bars, at home. I, for one, yours truly, will not be a part of that because I like to sit home and watch the game. I went to one Super Bowl party. Never again will I ever do this again. I like to hear the announcers. I like to hear the commentators. So, no. For me, I'd be home. I have my own little hot wings and tacos and whatever I'm going to make. So that's what I'll be doing for Super Bowl Sunday. This day in sports. February 3rd, 1876. That's a long time ago.
I remember it.
I wasn't around for that. But Albert Spalding invest $800 to start a sporting goods company, and is known as Spalding. As many of you know, growing up, you have played with these balls, baseball, tennis balls, basketball, footballs, golf balls, and whatever other balls that was created. And not trying to be funny when I say that, but these are sporting balls, okay? Not what you think. Everybody get their minds out of the gutter, okay? These are sporting balls. So he is the inventor, Albert Spalding. So congratulations to him. That was in 1876. 1942, baseball owners agreed to permit each club up to 14 night games. Yes, that's when night games started back then. 1967, the singer Jimi Hendrix added vocals and overdubs for Purple Haze at Olympic Studios in London. 1989, Major League Baseball announces Yankee broadcaster Bill White, first African American American League president. Yes, So he was the first, 1989. And in 1998, New York Yankees replaced Bob Watson with Brian Cashman, who is presently still the general manager. Birthdays today: 1940, Fran Tarkenton, NFL quarterback, born in Richmond, Virginia. 1945, Bob Greasy, NFL quarterback, born in Evansville, Indianapolis. 1949, Arnold Bake McBride. Yes, Arnold was his real name. Bake McBride was his given his nickname. He was a speedster. He played Major League Baseball. He was an outfielder, born in Fulton, Missouri. In 1952, Fred Lynn, Major League Baseball outfielder, was born in Chicago, Illinois. Yes, that's what you have right there. Now, we are celebrating Black History Month. This is something that's been going on for a long time, is the culture of African Americans and people of color. And this is the history. I got a few things that happened this week. February 3rd, 1908, Jack Johnson becomes the first black heavyweight boxing champion by defeating Tommy Burns in Australia. Although he was not officially given the title until 1910, after he defeated the American Jim Jeffries in Las Vegas. Now, back then, many whites reacted violently to his defeating white opponents were banned. So, there was riots. It was several cities was burned down in Johnson's home state in Texas, and it was crazy for a while. But he had two faults. He believed in speaking his mind, which he always did, and he liked white women. Nothing wrong with that. Women are women. I don't care what color you are, what nationality you are, what ethnic group. If you find yourself a good woman, that's what you have. You get yourself a good woman. But back in those days, it wasn't allowed. And as you know, we've come a long, long way. We're still coming a long, long way. But that's what Jack Johnson had. That's what he loved. Those two tendencies landed him in jail, believe it or not, in 1920, and Trump up charges of violating the Mann Act, a law that made it illegal to transport white women across state lines for immoral purposes. And Johnson, arguably, is the greatest boxer who ever lived. He died in an automobile accident back in Raleigh, North Carolina, in 1946. He was a great boxer, vicious, and had a wonderful career, but can't take that away from him. He loved women, 1934, Hank Aaron was born on this day in Mobile, Alabama. The baseball great was eventually home run king until Barry Bonds took over and surpassed him. Began his career with the old Negro Baseball League, playing the Indianapolis Clowns before joining the Atlanta Braves in 1954. And finally, 1993, tennis star Arthur Ashe, on February 6, 1993, died at the day after contracting AIDS from a 1988 blood transfusion. Ashe was the first African American to win at Wimbledon, defeating Jimmy Connors in the finals in 1975. He was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. Ashe was known for his activism in various social causes. So he lived a wonderful life, died so young. And that's sports, everybody.
Okay, all right, okay, but and your prediction for the Super Bowl on the 20th?
My prediction for the Super Bowl, and it's so ironic that you said that. I'm wearing all red today. We're wearing all red, not because of the Kansas City Chiefs, but I was just wearing red. It was just an outfit that I just thought about last night. I wish you could all see me. It's too bad we're not on Zoom. And you're going to say, nigga, and people will say, this is a fly sportscaster. But yes, I'm wearing red. And the Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They will defeat the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a good game. But we'll see what happens next week.
Well, I'm going opposite of that. I'm going to go for Philadelphia.
Okay.
And see how they make out. They're close. They're as close to New York as they're going to get, but that's not the reason why I'm voting for them. I just want to see Philadelphia get into it. I mean, they've gotten to it so many times before, but I'm going to go for Philadelphia.
And there's also the history of having the first two two African American quarterbacks to face one another, and two brothers will be facing each other at the Super Bowl. One of the brothers is the Kelsey brothers, and one of them for Kansas City, one for Philadelphia. One brother said that my mother wins either way. So it's hard to pick one child over another child when their team is when both sons are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of moms wouldn't want to be in her position.
No, but you know what? You win either way.
You win either way, right? You know, you can. Yep. She could still brag.
Yes.
She could still brag.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep. And you know what? And they both already won a Super Bowl too. So this is the first time they're going to be going against one another as brothers.
Yeah, boy. I love to see the siblings oppose each other. It's something like, it's not that they're going against each other, but it's just like sports like. You know, I like to see that every once in a while. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I stay with Philadelphia. You're with the Kansas City Chiefs, and we'll see what happens. The main thing is the Super Bowl is coming up.
More details next week for sure.
Yeah. Okay, Brian, we'll catch you back here next week.
All right. Tell everybody I said hi. If Pete is out there, tell them hello, everybody. Have a safe weekend, and remember, be safe.
And keep your mask on. Okay, take care. All right, that was, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He came on a little early today, but he usually fulfills part of the 2020 feature. And so the second half of the 2020 feature goes to DJ Pete, who will be coming by way of telephone too. As you know, if you guys watch regularly, we come through Zoom as well. And Zoom allow us to get the cameras focus on Brian and DJ Pete. However, we had a technical thing going on with Zoom. It always seems that they really want to update their website when you want to go on the air. That's and while Brian was talking, I was trying to go back to Zoom and check it out. Went back to it, so I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. Technical. We always get by technical problems. We had a technical problem. What was it? Last week or a week before, with Instagram. We couldn't get on Instagram. We overcame it. Yeah, it was last week. It was Thursday night when we were going on the air on Talkback Live, and we couldn't get on. But the following day, we managed to get back on. So we don't worry about these things. I want to say good morning to Rod out there, out of New York City. Thanks for joining us today. Those of you who are joining us in conversation too, please give us your weather forecast, except if you're from the New York area. If you're from the New York area, don't worry about it, because I am going to take care of that right now, as a matter of fact. We've got a cold snap on the way here in New York. As a matter of fact, it's underway. I say on the way, but it's underway right now. It's a cold snap, and this has to be the coldest this season. As far as I can see, this has to be the coldest this season. We've got 24 degrees right now. It's 24 degrees. So if you're going to go out there, if you're living in New York City, somewhere in New York, or beyond the 5 boroughs, somewhere like that, bundle up real warm. Bundle up real warm, because it's going to be cold out there. And so this is what it looks like so far. We got a mix of clouds and sun. We'll have a high 23 degrees today. Winds will be northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. And we'll have high wind gusts coming along. So that makes it even worse. And for tonight, if you don't have to go out there, don't. Just snuggle up and, drink hot chocolate, hot tea, or hot beverage, some kind of hot beverage that will keep the body warm, hot soup or something, and stay indoors, because it's going to be some clouds this evening. Will give way to mostly clear skies for the overnight period, and very, very cold. We have a low around 8 degrees, and if that's not cold to you, then I don't know what to say. 8 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. For tomorrow, Saturday, the cold continues. Sunny skies along with a few afternoon clouds. We'll have a high 27 degrees. Winds will be at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It will still be cold Saturday night. Mostly clear skies in the evening. And it will give way to mostly cloudy skies overnight. We'll have a low around 25 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So we've got a cold most of the weekend. But by the time Sunday comes around, when we wrap up our week, temperatures just automatically shoot up. They automatically shoot up. Mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a high around 50. 50, you heard me, 50. After everything I just said, Sunday will be 50 degrees, winds will be southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So, act accordingly. This weather is no joke. If you don't have to be out there, don't. A lot of people have to be out there. People have to work. People have to do shopping and things like that for the weekend. So whatever you do, see if you can spend as less time outside if possible if you have to go out there, because it's cold, boy. Anyway, as I repeat, our current temperature outdoors, we have 24 degrees. Whew, boy. I don't know. But, we're tough people. We can get around. Everybody's tough. We get around it. And DJ Pete, when he comes in, I hate to think what the temperatures are like in Portland, Maine. I hate to think, but I'm going to ask him when he comes along to give us that weather report, and we'll see what it's like. But if it's not as cold as it is here in New York, then he dodged a bullet. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and of course we're here every Friday at this time. And we bring you all kinds of information. We talk to each other, and that's the whole idea of the show. And if you're just joining us for the first time, please don't make it your last time. Make it your weekly habit. And join us. Tell your friends about it. As a matter of fact, if you're joining us on one of the 3 areas, like Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, if you're joining us on Facebook, please tag your friends. Tag this show to your friends. You can do that very easily. Tag them, and they'll see the notification. They'll click on that notification. They'll pop right into us right there. They'll see you, they'll see me, and everyone else who's involved here, and we can talk to each other. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That'll give you the opportunity to know that we're on the air when we come on the air live. That information and that notification will pop right up there. You'll see it, and all you have to do is go right to that. Click onto that, and it'll bring you right to us. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, thank you. Just keep the faith, baby. Keep the faith. Just keep following us and continue to tell your friends about us. We're in the midst of Black History Month, as you already know, and Black History Month started just 2 days. Today is the 3rd, so 2 days ago, on the 1st of February, that's when it starts. And we're in the midst of it now, and all of Black History Month, we'll be celebrating Black heritage. Just like we do, we acknowledge all of the, when they come in, we acknowledge all the heritage that come in. This time is Black History, and of course there's a lot of things to be learned about Black History Month. If you go to museums, and of course there's going to be a lot of things on TV, like maybe if you watch PBS TV, they may have some Black History celebrations there. You can go to museums, you could read a book, you can do anything. I'm pretty sure a lot of movies will be played, a lot of Black related movies will be played on TV. For instance, on Turner Classic Movies, we have a few of those, and we'll tell you more about that later. So keep enjoying. We have in the news, of course, we have lost a lot of people in show business. We want to talk about that. Lisa Loring, remember Lisa Loring? Lisa Loring was best known as the first actress to play Wednesday Addams on The Addams Family, the original sitcom back in the 60s, the Addams Families. She passed away last weekend. Of course, this is old news to you, but we would just like to relay it to you because we weren't on the air when she passed away. But she passed away last weekend of a massive stroke. And she died at the age of 64 years old. You remember her? She was the young girl with the pigtails, right? And she used to come along, and she was kind of a funny little girl. And so unfortunately, she passed away. She's 64 years old. These days, 64, the age 64, and even 75 is not an old age in this day and age. So we say hello to all of her family and friends. We send our condolences out to you, all of the people who worked with her, all of her family, her children, everyone else that knew her. We send our deepest condolences out to Lisa Loring. Lisa Loring. You heard that news before, right? Okay. In the music world, Barrett Strong, Motown trailblazer and hitmaker, died last weekend. Barrett Strong sang the label's first major hit, Money, That's What I Want. Remember that song? Okay, he did that in 1959. And he went to co-write classic songs like I Heard It Through the Grapevine, War, What Is It Good For, and Papa Was a Rolling Stone. He was 81 years old, Barrett Strong. And I'm going to miss him because, he did a lot of great music, wrote a lot of great music, and that classic song that he recorded back in 1959, Money, well, that's going to always be around. That's going to be around in our repertoire for years and years to come. As a matter of fact, forever. And the Beatles recorded that. They covered that song as well. Money, That's What I Want. Cindy Williams, who played Shirley opposite Penny Marshall on Laverne and Shirley, that popular sitcom Laverne and Shirley, well, she passed away too. She passed away this past Monday. And Williams died in Los Angeles at the age of 75 years old after a brief illness. Now, as I said, 75 years old, and even 75 years old, that's a young age in this day and age. But she passed away from a brief illness. We're going to miss her. I thought she was very good on that show, Laverne and Shirley. I think they would, as a matter of fact, her and Penny Marshall, when they got together on that show, they were very good on that show together. They had great chemistry on that show. And I love Cindy Williams, especially when she had a little boo-boo kitty. I thought she was so cute with that, the little boo-boo kitty. And boo-boo kitty is famous now because of her. And the story behind boo-boo kitty is that Cindy Williams was in a studio. They were getting ready to do the show. They were recording the show. And she forgot her line. It was one of those episodes where she was looking under the bed and find dust bunnies. We see under everyone's bed there's dust bunnies. You got to get them out of there every once in a while, right? And she forgot the line, and she came up with the thing, oh, I found Boo Boo Kitty. I found Boo Boo Kitty. That's how Boo Boo Kitty came alive on the show. And the producers and the writers loved that. So they kept Boo Boo Kitty. They found her a little Boo Boo Kitty. And there was a real life Boo Boo Kitty, according to Cindy. Cindy said that her mom had a cat named Boo Boo Kitty. And so, Boo Boo Kitty forever. We love Boo Boo Kitty. Okay, and so those are the people who we lost. We want to say our condolences to all of the people who remember Cindy Williams, the people who work with her, the show, the people who wrote the show Happy Days that launched Laverne and Shirley and other great shows, Mork and Mindy, things like that. We want to send our deepest condolences. We're going to miss her madly. Okay, if you're just joining us, the time right now is coming up to 29 minutes past the hour, and we're half hour in the show. In just a few minutes from now, DJ Pete will be here, of course, with musical entertainment, entertainment news, and reciting all of those birthdays of people in notoriety. However, he's going to be on the phone. We'll have him on the phone, and we'll be talking to him. Zoom is not operating right today, so we won't be able to see DJ Pete. However, we'll hear from him, and that's all coming up. One of the biggest news, of course, you heard already that Kyrie Nichols, who you already know was murdered in Memphis, Tennessee, due to a traffic stop. And you guys already know the story. I don't have to repeat the story. You already know the story. Well, anyway, his funeral was Wednesday. They had his funeral Wednesday. His mom put him away. And of course, you already know when he got murdered, he got beaten by the cops. 5 police officers who are no longer police officers now. He got beaten by them and massively beaten to the point you saw that that still shot of him in the hospital lying in the bed. You saw his face all bruised up, and he was in the hospital, and he died 3 days after that beating. And it happened in Memphis, Tennessee. And these four cops were fired immediately when it happened. Now, those of you who've seen the video, and I want to congratulate and thank all of the people, all of the media people who ran these videos and ran them in full length. They ran them in full length, and they didn't do them in sections. They didn't do them in sections. They ran them in full length. Now, it was a 4-part video, and I believe there were 4-part, maybe, if I can remember, 3 were body cam videos, and the 4th one was the one video that was taken from a street light pole. You know, because they have those cameras in the streets, so they can detect a lot of things. Now, I saw all 4 videos, and you could see the first one, video number 1. You could see it when he was knocked to the ground, and he was pulled out of the car. First, he was knocked to the ground and pulled out of the car. In the meantime, he's asking the police officers, "What did I do? What did I do? I'm trying to get home. What did I do?" And the police officers never even ask him. You know, it's common sense for when you are stopped, a police officer stops you in traffic. Of course, you're going to ask, "Officer, what did I do? You know, why are you stopping me?" Immediately, they're supposed to give you an answer, or either volunteer and saying, "Do you know why I stopped you today?" They don't do that anymore. "Do you know why I stopped you?" And you could say, "No, I don't. I stopped you because your light was busted out, or you ran a traffic light, or you ran a stop sign. So I'm pulling you over. I'm giving you a citation." Get the citation, and you're on your way. In this case, it wasn't that way. He asked, "What did I do? I'm trying to get home. What did I do?" They didn't answer him. They just pulled him. They yanked him out of the car, knocked him to the ground, handcuffed him, started beating him, and to the point you could hear him on the video when he's crying out, "Mom, Mom, Mom," calling out from his mom, hopefully in hopes that she would hear him, because he was only yards away from his house. Only yards away from his house. And they were beating him so bad, and he had managed to escape. Now, any human being, I know I would, if you have that opportunity, you're under that condition of being beaten to the pulp, and you're under that condition, and you can get away, for some reason you can get out of it, you're gonna run too. I would have ran. And so that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to run home to get to his parents. And they caught him eventually. They pepper sprayed him. They cuffed him. And all of this you could see in these videos. Video number 1, 2, and 3, there were body cam videos. They even showed when part of the videos were blacked out. They just let it go. They just showed all of that. But the video that was really touching was the very last video, video number 4, and that was from the street post. And of course, those cameras are mounted up on those street posts, and they caught everything that was going on. One of the police officers kicked him so bad that he started limping. You had to kick a person pretty hard in order to limp. If you kick someone that hard and you're limping, you must have kicked them pretty hard. But they showed it. You saw it. They kicked him in the head. They kicked him in the face, and they tried to prop him up, but he wasn't strong enough to stay up. He slumped back down, and they kept telling him to get up. "Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands." Oh, great, Sherlock. Show me your hands, and you got him handcuffed. You know? And so I am just saying that I'm just hoping that this man get justice, and I hope it's going to satisfy the family that these 5 individuals are going to get exactly what they deserve. Now, last week, we didn't know, I had a conversation with Brian, we didn't know whether or not he had siblings, but he did. He has a sister, and I think has 2 sisters and another brother. Now, his brother was interviewed on CNN just before, I guess maybe days before the funeral, and he was talking, and he was just saying, he was asked, what would you like to see? He says, well, you know what? He says that these officers should get capital punishment. He just was very honest about it in his own little words. He didn't say it exactly that way, but it's like, I hope they die. And he just wants these cops, these former cops, former police officers, to get exactly what's coming to them. I'm hoping they get exactly what's coming to the fullest of the law. After watching that video, and it was very, very hard to watch. Some people didn't watch it. The father watched it before it was released. The mother didn't watch it. The brother didn't watch the video because he said, "Why should I watch it? I already know. Looking at him, I already knew what happened." He didn't want to watch the video. The mother didn't want to watch the video. The father did watch the video. And it was terrifying to watch. And I'm pretty sure all of America, all around the country, people were bracing to see this video because they didn't know what they were going to get. Some people said it just reminded them of the Rodney King beating. And people were saying, well, something, that wasn't as bad as the Rodney King beating. They didn't think it was as bad as the Rodney King beating. But I think the reason why they said that is because of the fact that Rodney King survived his beatings back then. He survived his beating. This young man, Kyrie Nichols, did not survive his beating. Not for a while. 3 days after the beating, he died. So yes, this was terrible, and we have to get justice for this man and his family. He was 29 years old. He has a son, 4 years old, who he's never going to see again. He is never going to be able to take him to a football game to watch the San Francisco 49ers, because that was his favorite football team, the San Francisco 49ers. And he's never going to take him to a baseball game to watch his favorite baseball team, the San Francisco Giants. And, this kid is 4 years old, and he's too young to even know what's going on. Who knows? Maybe he's still asking, where's my dad? Where's my dad? Because he's too young to understand or to digest this, understand anything what's going on. And a kid that young should never have to see their parents go that way. It was a terrible sight to see, and I give kudos to I give some kudos to the chief of police. She had made sure that they were off the force completely. Now, here's something in relation to Black History Month. If it weren't for Dr. Martin Luther King fought for years for people like these 5 individuals to get these kind of jobs that they never had before. They were fighting, they would keep them off the force, off the fire department, and making sure that they have these jobs. As the parents said, as the mother said about these 5 individuals, they were a disgrace to the Black community and also a disgrace to their own family. And may I add, personally, a disgrace to that uniform they were wearing. There are good cops, there are bad cops. Unfortunately, the good cops are buried in the rubble. And we have to change all of that. We have to put the good cops to the forefront to let everyone know there are good cops out there who are swore to an oath to protect and serve, or serve and protect, however you want to place it. We have to put them out into the forefront, because we have to know that all cops are not bad. And so these bad cops should be taken care of, immediately taken care of. And so the first thing right now is that these guys have no jobs, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what the outcome is going to be. and I hope it's satisfying to the families of these people. I hope it's satisfying to them. So I just want to send my condolences out to all of the Kyrie Nichols family, the mother, the father, the sisters, and the brother, and all of the cousins and everyone else and their friends and family. We got to be very careful how we treat people, because, listen, this guy Kyrie said to his mom, he said, "One of these days I'm going to be famous. One of these days I'm going to be famous." Was this the day? He was probably talking about something else. You know, was this the day? This is a hell of a way to be famous. And now, whatever his dreams were, they're all shattered. They're all gone. They're not there anymore. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over to the phone right now, and we're going to go directly to Portland, Maine, and I just want to know what the weather's like out there, Pete.
Good morning, Frank and Brian and everybody watching today. It's cold out here today, and it's going to be even colder tonight. But it's nothing new. I've seen this type of weather before.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not favorable, but we'll deal with it here.
Yeah.
So here in Portland, current temperatures are 14 degrees. It's sunny out. Tonight, overnight lows will be minus 14. Now, if you put that into relations to 2005, I think it was 2005 or 2006, that we had minus 30 for a week here.
Yeah.
And that was brutal. But the positive thing about this is the sun is out during the days. That'll warm things up a bit. You know, you open your shades at your house and let that sunlight come in and help heat your house up. So I got a lot of stuff for this week.
Great.
Here, let's see. Let me get a. So, January 30th, 1911, David Roy Eldridge was born, nicknamed Little Jazz. He was an American jazz trumpeter, had a lot of great music. He had his style impacted Louis Armstrong and Dizzy Gillespie. He worked with many artists. He influenced some saxophone players, Benny Carter, Coleman Hawkins, back in the day, and had a great musical career. He found some work in a small band in the traveling Rock Dinah show during the swing era for Count Basie. Anyway, so Roy Eldridge. Check out his music when you get a chance. Let's see, Norma Jean Beasler, January 30th, 1938. She was an American country singer, member of the Porter Wagoner Show. Had 13 country singles on the Billboard Top 40 charts between 1963 and 68. Got 2 Grammy Awards. A lot of great music from her. Norma Jean Beasler, the singer. Let's see. We also have Chuck Willis, born January 31st, 1926. American blues, R&B, jump blues, and rock and roll singer. One of his biggest hits was C.C. Rider.
Yep.
And What Am I Living For?
That's right.
He was also known as the King of Stroll because of his performance in the 1950s dance, The Stroll, which kind of a group dance thing that people would do.
Yeah, that was big in Philadelphia because they used to do that a lot on the Dick Clark Show, American Bandstand.
Yeah. I remember seeing stuff about it here and there.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see, February 1st, 1937, Isaac Donald Everly, American musician and one half of the duo, the Everly Brothers. He was born in Brownie, Kentucky, and he and his brother had, a wonderful career. Bye Bye Love was their first hit single, and many more. Don Everly there. Let's see, who else do we have here? Red Prysock, born February 2nd, 1926, American R&B tenor saxophonist, one of the early Coleman Hawkins influenced saxophonists to move in the direction of R&B rather than bebop. He worked with Tiny Grimes and his Rockin' Highlanders, did his own stuff. He had a saxophone battle with Benny Golson called Battle of the Mass. I'm not sure what they meant by that, but I'm sure it was a battle. Let's see. Martin Glenn Barber, February 2nd, 1935, American country and rockabilly performer, recorded on Hickory Records in the 1970s. His highest chart entry was Unexpected Goodbye, which reached number 23 for the Hot Country Songs in the 1970s there. Let's see, who else do we have? Frankie Vaughan. I think if I'm getting this right. Yeah, Frankie Vaughan, February 3rd, 1928. He was an English singer and actor. He recorded more than 80 easy listening and traditional pop singles in his life. He was known as Mr. Moonlight after his signature song, Give Me the Moonlight, Give Me the Girl. Two of his singles top UK single charts, The Garden of Eden and Tower of Strength there. And he starred in several films, including opposite Marilyn Monroe in Let's Make Love in 1960. Let's see. And not finally yet, but let's see. We have Paul Burleson, February 4th, 1929. I got to meet him back in 2002. American pioneer rockabilly guitarist, founding member of the rock and roll trio with brothers Johnny Burnett and Dorsey Burnett of the trio. They had a lot of great tunes. They did a cover of Big Joe Turner's Honey Hush. Lonesome Train was one of their famous tunes, and a lot more. And usually, when I give these birthdays, it's usually just birthdays of people. I don't really talk too much about the death of people, except for these three individuals who were great American rock and roll musicians. On February 3rd, 1959, that day is known as the day the music died.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a tragic plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa, with their pilot, Roger Peterson, flying a small single-engine aircraft. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and J.P. Richardson, also known as the Big Bopper, were killed in that plane crash there.
Yeah.
It was later known as the day the music died after singer-songwriter Don McLean, who is a resident in Maine, referred to it in his 1971 song, American Pie.
That's right.
And if you listen carefully, he talks about his widow bride. I believe he's talking about Buddy Holly's wife.
Yeah.
That whole incident kind of sparked off other things because the media back then announced Buddy Holly's passing before the family was notified.
Wow. Yeah.
And because of that, she was so stressed out that she miscarried. Then, so because whenever there's a fatality, even if the media knows who it is, they cannot disclose it until they know the family has been notified of this. anyway, but at the time, Buddy Holly's band at the time was Waylon Jennings and Tommy Alsop and Carl Bunch. They weren't part of the Crickets. They were. I believed Buddy's record promoter or someone influenced him to break away from the Crickets and do his own thing because they didn't like the name the Crickets with the band. They just wanted it to be Buddy Holly.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's how they wanted the focus to be. And you know, a lot of record promoters were big in influencing musicians back then. But they all those musicians, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, were on a tour across the Midwest at the time called the Winter Dance Party.
Mm-hmm.
And they played along with Dion and the Belmonts, who had joined the tour. I'm sure there are a few other acts here and there that joined the tour also. But yeah, that's all I got for this week.
Okay, and the kids know this guy. Rapper. I don't know too many rappers, but I'm familiar with this guy, Daddy Yankee. He's celebrating his birthday today. He's 46 years old. Daddy Yankee.
That's a neat name.
Actress, he could have been a little more original. Actress Elise Donovan, you may know her from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She's 52 today.
Oh, yeah.
Bo Biden, that's the late son of Joe Biden, and he would have been 54 today. Actress Maury Turney is 58. Actress Michelle Green is 61. Actor Nathan Lane is 62, and the following are no longer with us as well. Johnny Symbol did that song, Mr. Bassman. Can you teach me?
Yeah, I remember that song.
Right,
Yeah.
he would have been 78 years old. 78 years old today. Actor Victor Bono would have been 85. Johnny Guitar Watson would have been 88. Comedian Shelley Berman. Yeah, you probably don't remember these people, Pete.
No,
Comedian
not all of them.
I remember them all. Comedian Shelley Berman would have been 98. And comedian Joey Bishop, you got to remember him. He was part of the Rat Pack.
Oh, yeah.
And he would have been 105. Jazz pianist who played piano for Frank Sinatra on occasions. He would have been 108 years old. And actor Robert Earl Jones, who is the father of
James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones. Why did I forget?
I'm just guessing.
He's the father of James Earl Jones. And I had a chance to meet this man, Robert Earl Jones. He would have been 113 years old. So
Wow.
Those are the birthdays. And, of course, let's talk about your radio show.
So, let's see. I have a radio show here. The first one is on WMPG Radio in Portland, Maine. It is www.wmpg.org. Every other Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. And let's see, I have another show on Radio Airwaves Online. It's going to be most Thursday nights now, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. www.radio-airwaves.co.uk. And I'm going to try to post the info here in your comments section.
Good. Very good. Okay. Okay, listen, I guess hopefully we'll catch you back here next week. And hopefully we'll be back to normal. And have you on visually. Because
whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever that is. That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, weather is cold outside, getting colder, and we're just staying warm today, not going anywhere.
No, I don't blame you, and I suggest that to everyone. Stay home if you're in an area where it's really frigid. Okay,
Yeah.
Pete, thanks a lot. I'll catch you back here next week.
Well, Frank, take care, and shout out to Brian and everybody watching today, and have a good day, good weekend. We'll see you next time.
Okay, take care of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, that was DJ Pete. Of course, he brings us that information, that entertainment news of the day for the week. and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, I have two sources that you can do that. I have an email address and a telephone number, and I'd just like you to take it down right now. It's easy to remember too. Anyway, my email address first is frankallanprod@aol.com. Allan is spelled Allan, and prod is PROD. That's short for production. frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those movies that you like so much, Turner Classic Movies. Now, I just want to let you know that I have my picks of the week. As you already know, you hear on a regular basis, so you already know that I take a pick of movies from Turner Classic Movies each week. Only my picks, and to add to what you might want to watch if you want to catch up on some movies this weekend. So let's get started right away with that. I am going to start in view of Black History Month. We have three that I want to tell you about right now. They're not black and white movies, but they're good movies, and I think you'll like it. Malcolm X from 1992, starring Denzel Washington. It's a long movie, so get your popcorn, peanuts, and Cracker Jacks out and get ready for that. You could see that Saturday, it's tomorrow, at 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. That's Eastern. Everything I'm giving to you, all of the time zones, is Eastern, so you follow yours accordingly. That's Malcolm X, Denzel Washington. That's Saturday, tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're going to go back in time, let's go back to 1975. Cooley High. Cooley High. That's with Glenn Turman and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. That's back. That dates you back. If it has that 60s flavor to it. And you can catch that on Saturday as well at 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern, Cooley High. It's a great movie. I love it. I go back in time with that movie. It reminds me of my youth. Okay, and finally, here's something that goes back also in the 1970s, 1972 to be more exact. Sounder, starring Paul Winfield and Cicely Tyson. That's also on Saturday. You can catch that Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's Sounder. And all of these great movies are there for your enjoyment. Now, of course, there are more movies on Turner Classic Movies that you may like that I didn't mention. So what you have to do is go over to Turner Classic Movies, scroll through the program guide, and see something that you may like. And if you don't get a chance to watch them all in real time, you can DVR them and watch them later at your own convenience. And so you can scroll down and see all of these great movies. There's a lot to see on demand, too. All of the new movies, the classic movies, all of that is there for you for your enjoyment. So let me go back down to these movies once again for this weekend. I think you'll like it. Okay, we got Malcolm X with Denzel Washington. That's on Saturday, tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Cooley High with Glenn Turman and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. That's also Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Sounder. Everything is Saturday here. And Sounder with Paul Winfield and Cicely Tyson. That's Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. I think you'll like all of these movies. Give them all a try. It's all in commemoration of Black History Month. So, ladies and gentlemen, I had a good time. I had a wonderful time, and I hope you did too, as usual. I'm sorry we couldn't do our Zoom thing, but we'll work on that for next week. We'll make sure that we'll have everything in order. As DJ Pete would say, whatever normal is, we'll get back to that. And join us back here next Thursday for Talk Back Live. Talk Back Live will be with you. Brian Camp will be along with me with sports. And he'll bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports, and it's you and I in conversation. That's Talk Back Live. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and be here to enjoy it. Other than that, I'll be back here next week for the coffee hour. Of course, Brian Camp will be along with sports, the 2020 feature, 20 past the hour. He will be here, and 22 the hour DJ Pete will be along with information on entertainment and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourself a great day and a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.